Do you guys remember just over a year ago when I made possibly my most controversial video on the channel, which was on why I hate the 12th Doctor's sonic screwdriver? I remember that. Went down rather well. But I never thought that they'd be able to introduce something to the show that I would hate even more than the 12th Doctor with this very screwdriver. But somehow, they did. In the form of wearable technology. Yes, they're not replicas. And even if they brought replicas out, I wouldn't buy them. So, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about why I hate the 12th Doctor's sonic sunglasses. This is going to be fun. So today I'm going to be bringing you guys, I wouldn't say a rant, actually. I would say more of a debate and a bit more of a discussion, because when I made my 12th Doctor Sonic vid last year, it was very in the moment, and it was very sudden, and it was in the moment, and I'd just found out about the Sonic, and I'd just seen it filming, and I was furious. I hated the idea, so I made a video. So it was before I could see 12 in action with the Sonic, and before I could have a full judgment on it, I guess, I will admit. I don't regret that video whatsoever, and I'm still not fond of 12 with the Sonic, and believe me, him no longer using it, I was really happy about. But with this, I've hung on for a bit. You know, I had this idea after The Witch is Familiar, but I've hung on a bit to see what it looks like, to have more of a perspective on the sunglasses, and to see how they're used and what 12 looks like in them. And I've got a bit more of an open mind, so I want to create more of a debate among you lot, because I know it's always fun to see you guys having conversations and speculating in the comments, and of course with the split opinion that the sunglasses have caused, it's always interesting to create a bit of debate. So what I'm going to be doing is splitting this video into 3 parts. First of all, I'm going to be talking about the sonic sunglasses on their own as an item, as a device, as a thing. Then I'm going to be talking about the 12th Doctor's new gimmick, which is a little bit strange and not to my liking, with this rocker Time Lord thing that they're going for, which of course is probably the prime reason why they chose sunglasses to be the sonic device for the 12th Doctor. And then finally I'm going to be finishing with just talking about Sonic as a whole, sonic devices, and if I think they should be in the show at all. So let's get started on the sonic sunglasses themselves. Now, the initial idea of them getting rid of the sonic screwdriver for me was a big step forward, and I'll talk about why at the end of the video. But them replacing them, of course, okay, fair enough, they're replacing the Sonic. What are they going to replace it with? Is it going to be another cool looking device? You know, what's it going to be? Is it going to be a bigger device that the Doctor can run around with? No, they're going to be replaced by sunglasses. Out of all the possible options they had for any sort of headwear or clothing or device, sunglasses is one of the worst choices they could have possibly made. For one, let's talk about their appearance. I mean, yeah, cosplayers, good for them, you know, it's going to be easy for cosplayers to get their hands on them, but they just don't look as striking as the sonic screwdriver does. They don't have the same visual impact that the screwdriver does. I mean, let's be honest, as Doctor Who fans and merchandise collectors, we all get a good feeling, a good bit of giddiness when we look at our shelves and we see all of our sonic screwdrivers lined up against each other. You know, I personally, right now, I'm looking at my 10th Doctor, 11, I've got Wars, Rivers, and I've got a metal replica of the 10th too, and they all just look so cool together. The different variations, the different sizes, the different colours, they look fantastic together. And the sonic sunglasses do not have that impact at all. I mean, although the screwdriver has frustrated us at times with the way it's been used to pretty much solve stories, in every single poster between 2005 and 2013, bar probably a very few minor ones, the Doctor has been wielding his sonic screwdriver in each poster or promotional picture. And the Doctor always looks really cool. And let's be honest, we can't deny, when we get hold of our sonic screwdriver toys or replicas, we always love flipping them about, or, you know, pressing them against things, or holding them up, or pointing them at things. You just get a good feeling about that. That, you know, the sonic screwdriver is visually, and it's so proactive, the sonic screwdriver. It has that impact, and the sonic shades do not have that. For one, they would not look good on a shelf. They look plain, they look simple, and they do not look technological whatsoever. The screwdriver is very sci-fi. You know, it's very out of this world. It personifies what Doctor Who is, really. And the Sonic sunglasses do not do that in any way, shape, or form. And narratively, I will admit, they've been used okay so far. Narratively, yeah, used as a hologram. Well, you know, they've looked good. They've not looked good. Sorry, they've been used well narratively so far. I say so far because you can never tell. It depends how long they will be kept in the show, because apparently in the next episode there was a promo picture that we didn't actually notice, where the big baddie from The Girl Who Died has a chain that has what looks like the snapped shades on. So I don't know if they're going a bit sooner than we thought. But yeah. Back to my point, they just don't have the same impact that the sonic screwdriver does. Narratively, they've been good, but practically they have not at all. With the Sonic, we've seen it in many Doctor Who episodes in the past. The Doctor flipping it about, pointing it at cameras, like in Bad Wolf. The Ninth Doctor gets the sonic screwdriver, destroys the camera by pointing the screwdriver at it, and it destroys it in an instant. We saw in Army of Ghosts, I think it was, or it may have been Doomsday. Yeah, it was Doomsday, where the 10th Doctor is faced with the Daleks, the Cult of Skaro. He flips the Sonic and says, "Oh, the Sonic, it doesn't kill, doesn't wound, doesn't maim. I'll tell you what it does do. It is very good at opening doors." Presses it, boom, the room blows up. You know, and 11, well, he never let go of it. So he would have had loads of awesome moments with the screwdriver where he points it and flips it. And the sunglasses do not have that practical impact. I mean, what has 12 done with them so far? When we first saw them introduced, when he was like, wearable technology, he put them on and he pressed some button on the side of them and they made the noise. I'm sorry, but that is lazy and that is tacky. That just doesn't work at all. Pressing a button on the side, they make the whisper. That just doesn't work. And then in Before the Flood, as much as the hologram thing worked, how the hell does putting the side of these sunglasses, I have no idea what you call the side of sunglasses, someone in the comments might know, but how does putting that into a slot of a computer or something turn down and lock the, you know, cause the 12th Doctor Ghost hologram thing? What computer has a slot that the sunglasses can fit perfectly into? I mean, putting them in and seeing the plastic sunglasses wobble about, it just looks stupid. It looks tacky. And it looks like Doctor Who has pretty much lost so much of its budget that they can only afford plastic glasses as a sonic device. That's what it looks like. So, yeah, as a device on their own, they visually don't look good, and they proactively do not have the same impact of the sonic screwdriver. So, the sunglasses with 12. Wow. Wow, I mean, Stephen Moffat was on a very small video on the Doctor Who YouTube channel recently, where he basically explained why they chose the sonic sunglasses, and his reasoning was just 100% not justified. His reasoning for why they brought in the sonic sunglasses was because we can. Because it's fun. I'm sorry, but if you are going to replace the most iconic device in Doctor Who, why would you replace that with sunglasses? I mean, surely there is more of a reason to that than because it's fun, because we can. I mean, I don't even think Moffat knows himself. I think it's one of them ideas that was like a rush of blood, where they thought, oh, this is really good, and, you know, they laughed about it in the office or whatever for, you know, for a few hours, and then a few days later they started to have a good think, and they thought, oh, maybe we were a bit unsure on that. I mean, Toby Whithouse himself has even came out and said in an interview, I don't know if it was with Cultbox or somebody, that he was even really unsure on the sonic sunglasses. So I'm not the only person who was a little bit puzzled, and I think the only one reason I can think about, you know, and justify why they are sunglasses is because of this new 12 rocker gimmick that they are somehow going with. Why are they making 12 like a rocker Time Lord? Yes, Peter Capaldi has a history of being in rock bands. I myself love rock music. It's my favourite genre. So you would think that for me, rock plus the Doctor plus his clothing, oh my god, it's a guaranteed yes. No, it isn't. It's a guaranteed no. He doesn't look good in them at all. and the rocker gimmick does not suit him. Now, I was originally going to make this video, the 12th Doctor Rocker Time Lord versus Rebel Time Lord, but I'm going to leave that until after Series 9, just to see how his character does develop. But the Series 9 12th Doctor that we're getting, I'm not liking as much. Now, after the first two-parter, I mean, I still love 12, don't get me wrong, he's still in my top 5 Doctors, probably. And in the first opening two-parter, he had some incredible scenes with Davros, and he had some incredible scenes. In fact, he was even better in Under the Lake and Before the Flood. But his costume and some of the moments he has are just, for me, they do not suit him at all, and he's just been drifting into this rocker gimmick, which I think's, again, very tacky, and, you know, it's very stupid, and it doesn't suit him. In The Magician's Apprentice, we saw him with an air guitar, rocking Pretty Woman or whatever, and that was just stupid and out of the blue. And then we had the really random Beethoven pre-title sequence, which, again, was stupid. It just doesn't work for me. I miss the 12th Doctor from Series 8. I miss the 12th Doctor who is very clean cut. You know, he has the white shirt, the suit, the Doc Martens, you know. What I liked about his costume when it was released more than anything is it was so simplistic, so cut back. It was almost as if what you see is what you get with the 12th Doctor. There's no hiding behind a bow tie or a scarf or a blue suit. You know, what I liked about the costume was that what you've seen is what you get. The Time Lord, the big bad rebel Time Lord from inside this 2,000-year-old man is coming out now. He's got nothing to hide anymore. I love that about the Series 8 12th Doctor. And so far, with what we've seen, the much more raggedy hair, the hoodie, the shirt, the air guitar, and then the sunglasses doesn't work. The gimmick is not good. So the only reason they clearly made the Sonic sunglasses is due to his rocker gimmick, which for me, I am not a fan of. Finally, let's just talk about Sonic devices, and what they mean, what they do, and if we necessarily do need them in Doctor Who. Now, the Sonic can sometimes be the most lovable thing, and sometimes it can be the most frustrating. Of course, there have been times where in Doctor Who it is, you know, solved stories like The Power of Three, where we've wanted to snap it in half, throw it away, and never see it again. But it is a very important part of Doctor Who history. It's iconic. We all love seeing the Doctor wielding a Sonic. But it's not a must anymore. The Sonic is not a must. The Doctor does not need to have a Sonic device by his side all the time. Don't you guys miss a practical Doctor? Like with the 5th, the 6th, pardon the Sonic Lance, or the 7th, apart from the TV movie. And the first Doctor, who, you know, didn't even use it, and even the classic Doctors themselves rarely used it anyway. So I miss a practical Doctor, that mad scientist that would sit in his TARDIS making gadgets and contraptions that he would use to capture aliens and save the day. I mean, I loved it in The Caretaker when 12 made that backpack that he used to trap and get rid of the Scorebots Blitzer. That was great to see. I love seeing the Doctor do things like that. Because in the 11th Doctor's era, if he was posed in the same situation, he would have probably used the Sonic to create some stasis chamber that would trap the Blitzer and then use some coordinates, flick it up and send it into space. But I love it when we see the Doctor being much more practical. And it suits 12 more than any other. I can see why the Sonic was a must with 9, 10 and 11. Because they were younger Doctors, and in today's modern society, we are living in a world which is, you know, run on much more technological things with computers, and science and technology is advancing all the time. So Doctor Who's always had to evolve with the times, and of course I can completely see why him having a modernised technological gadget like the Sonic has always worked well and has always been needed. But Doctor Who's been back for over a decade. Yes, when it first came back, of course, we needed to throw all the iconic Doctor Who cliches in there, like the Sonic and the TARDIS and everything. But it's been back long enough now for the Sonic to have a hiatus. It's not like without the Sonic the show is going to die completely. And especially with the 12th Doctor, he's a Doctor that comes across a lot more mature and practical and more like that mad scientist. A lot like the 3rd Doctor, who, although did use the Sonic at times, came up with some of these amazing gadgets and vehicles that you'd never seen before. And it just made the 3rd Doctor so much more kick-ass and so much more awesome. And I can see that characteristic working very, very well for the 12th Doctor. So when they got rid of the Sonic screwdriver, great step forward. getting that replaced with the sunglasses is a big fat no, because 12 doesn't need the Sonic sunglasses. The reasoning for replacing them was not justified whatsoever. So when the sunglasses do depart, whenever that may be, I want the Sonic to have a good old hiatus, a good break, because then we might have time to actually miss it. You never know. A few years away from the Sonic, we might start thinking, I want to see the Sonic again. I want to see a new model. And of course, character options and, toy manufacturers would be pretty much screwed if they, if the Sonic was getting rid of, because they wouldn't be able to make any more props or variants. But yeah, for me to conclude on the Sonic as a whole, I don't see why they have to keep bringing it back. I don't see why we have to have variations of it like the show relies on the Sonic, because it doesn't. And especially with the 12th Doctor, I'd like to see him a lot more practical. So guys, there are my thoughts on the 12th Doctor's Sonic sunglasses. Please do comment below your thoughts on the Sonic sunglasses, the screwdriver as a whole, and the rocker gimmick. And I look forward to having a good old debate with you guys in the comment section below. Screwdriver, sunglasses. Conclusion? Neither. Please like this video if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel for more great Doctor Who content to come, which will include a review and a preview of every single Series 9 episode each week. And comment below which you prefer, the Sonic screwdriver, the Sonic sunglasses, both for some reason, or if you're like me and you would rather have neither of them. Also visit our website, which is at the bottom of your screen. There you can find links to our Facebook and our Twitter, where you'll be able to keep up to date with everything that's happening on the channel, and you'll also get exclusive content too. And I will see you guys in our next video, which will be our review of The Girl Who Died, if I've not already been completely murdered in the comment section of this video. If I survive, I'll see you guys then.